Hello, friends, and welcome back. Today we talk cruise liners, Torrance, and the Queen. It sounds like a random mashup of words, but it's not. Stay tuned as we explore South Bay history on PCZ TV. Today's episode, The Queen. The South Bay, that magical place wedged between LAX to the north and Long Beach to the south. Torrance, nestled in the heart of the South Bay, is known for many things. Being a port city is not one of them. It does have a very nice stretch of beach, though. By now you're probably asking if I'm confusing Torrance with Long Beach and the home of the Queen Mary. Nope, I'm not. So how does a cruise liner fit into Torrance when Torrance doesn't even have a pier or a port? And what of Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth? What does she have to do with any of these topics here? Well, the late Queen pretty much has nothing to do with any of this. The ship in reference or of Torrance? The connection? Well, the connecting thread is all through Tung Chao Yung, or C.Y. Tung, as he was known. He was a Chinese shipping magnate who was definitely not born in the South Bay. So he's connected to Torrance exactly how? Well, the story all starts with the cruise liner. The RMS Queen Elizabeth, not to be confused with Queen Mary, was an ocean liner for the Cunard Line. It was actually named for the older Queen Elizabeth, not the one who recently passed away, and who christened the vehicle in 1939. That's her connection to this story. As for the ship, besides the Atlantic crossings, she also saw service in the Second World War. But during the 50s, the cost of maintaining the ship increased, and she was set to be replaced by more efficient cruise liners, so she was sold off. Initially, she was to have served as a hotel in Florida, just like the Queen Mary in Long Beach. But the idea wasn't profitable, so in steps C.Y. Tung, who we mentioned earlier. He buys the ship, and he moved her to Hong Kong Harbor. His plan was to convert the ship into a floating university, the SSCY's University. And here is where the threads start to connect together. This university entity was based in Torrance, California, on Carson Street, just across from the Del Amo Mall. However, things didn't go exactly as planned. In 1972, the ship caught fire in Hong Kong Harbor. Now, a court of inquiry found a case of deliberate arson by persons or persons unknown. Many different theories exist as to who and why, but the case was never resolved. Now, CY went on to buy another ship and brought his seagoing educational program to life. But what of the Queen Elizabeth, or the SSCYs? What happened to her? Well, she sat forlornly in the harbor until 1975, when she was mostly dismantled. And in a fun homage, the wreck was featured in the 1974 James Bond film, The Man with the Golden Gun, as a covert headquarters for MI6. So, is that it for the Torrance connection? No. Not only were the offices of CY's university located in Torrance, but he had one of the liner's anchors and the metal letters Q and E from the name on the bow placed in front of the office building. So you're probably wondering how big and heavy the anchor is. And I haven't a clue. I couldn't find that information anywhere. If you know, please tell me, leave a comment below. So, Torrance, despite never having a port, or the ship visit, or the Queen visit, Torrance does host the final resting place for the majority of displays left of the pieces of this ocean liner. And that's why you'll find the Queen Elizabeth here in the South Bay. God save the Queen. If you've made it this far, I thank you. Bye!